What it do, YouTube? It's Nathaniel back with another video, and today's a special one, man. I got a little story for you guys. Obviously, you've seen in the title. We'll be talking about the differences between, a wife type woman versus, a concubine, and just kind of my perspective. Like I said, this channel is just to share my perspective. I'm a young man who's growing into his second phase of life. I'm getting into my 30s just now. I've always had a 7-year plan for every 7 years of my life, so that I've been conscious at least. And again, I just want to kind of share the knowledge that I have to you, young man, from one brother to the next, man. So let's get into the video today. This is going to be quite interesting. So I'm going to share a story of two different women that I've had in my life, right? And the first one I'm going to explain is more so on the wifey type, and the second one's more on the concubine type. And I think it's going to be very evident and clear to you guys as to why, each fit into their separate categories. So, like I said, starting off with the wifey, man, I remember this shorty that I had not too long ago, actually, a few years back. And fantastic woman, man. She wasn't, sex appeal wise. I mean, she wasn't it. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like she was burst or anything like that, or she wasn't really hurt. But I mean, she an average. And when I say like a 5 or 6, like, you fit in the pack, but you don't really stand out. I mean, you could obviously level up, but you don't really stand out. And it wasn't like I was going through anything, or, people always say, oh, you pick the average woman when you're going through something, you're down bad about another woman. No, I just vibe with this woman. I kicked it with this woman, but over the course of us getting to know each other and everything, I mean, she really did provide me with the 3 P's, and that's something common you're going to hear on this channel, man, is, 3 P's, man. Peace of mind is, of course, top. Piece of steak, they got to feed that belly, boy. And then, obviously, you got to get a little piece of ass, So, like I said, just provided the 3 P's throughout the couple of years that we were together. She would just always be there for me. I never really had to worry. When I say peace of mind, it really comes down to that, man. You don't got to worry who she's with, where she's at, what she's doing, not in the clubs, not in the lounge, doesn't have a ton of friends, maybe like a 1-2 friend, but barely sees them. And pretty much just thinking about me, probably. I mean, I don't know what the hell she was doing, but she probably thinking about me and wanted to get with me. When's the next time she could see me, man? And she was always available, man. Again, that's a part of that peace of mind that I look for, right? So this woman was just always there, never had to worry about her. It even got to the point, man, where we had ended and I had dislocated my knee, and this girl sent me a whole care package, bro, all my favorite stuff. Talking my favorite candies and everything like that, man. Even a little Lego set, man. I still got that little kid in me, so got the little Lego set and everything like that. But honestly, man, just a valuable person, a genuine person, a person who was always looking out for my best interests. And again, that's the wifey, man. The wifey is going to look out for your interests. She's never going to want too much. She's never going to, of course, you must provide, you must protect, you must do those things. You must take her out. You must, spend some time with her in public, no matter if she average or not, man. Like, that's your obligation. I want you guys to know that, man. That's your obligation, man. It's called maintenance, bro. And it's just like your car, man. You guys infatuated with your car. You always want to tune it up and add this part and that part, man. Go take your girl to get her nails done, or get this done, or you take her out to eat at some nice restaurant. Whatever the case is, man. This is maintenance, bro. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Now, again, this woman was just fantastic. I mean, we did a lot of things together. She allowed me to do a lot of things with her. And again, man, I say that with all due respect in regards to, again, what, you're supposed to be looking for when it comes to that high level woman, or high value woman, or whatever you want to call it, right? Like that person who really fits all the check boxes and everything like that, man. Again, just beautiful soul, beautiful mind, took care of her father, very family oriented. Like I said, she was, anything I wanted to do, basically, she was with it, man. She was with it. Never any arguments. I never ever argue once, and we never ever like butted head once. She was always like, just yes, okay, I understand. Or just never open up that Pandora's box to be like, what are you talking about, or this, that, and the third. And then we fast forward, to the Concubine a couple years later, a bit wiser. And again, you could always kind of tell within the first couple of conversations what kind of woman you're dealing with, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't take that many conversations. You either got, within like 2, 3 phone calls, you see them 2 times, you know what type of woman you're with. Now, this woman, I mean, shit, you want to talk about, 10 or something like that, or at least a 9. I mean, she got the nice voluptuous ass and everything like that, man. The breast to seize, all that good stuff, man. The face is just beautiful, of course. And just tapped into her femininity on a different level in regards to her appearance and her looks. But we all know with that, you're gonna have some consternation, boys. You're gonna have some consternation, young men out there, man. So don't always think that the 9 and the 10 is always gonna, appease you just because she looks good, bro. And I'm talking, this woman was a headache from Jump Street, bro. I ignored all kind of flags, boy. But so what I tell my boys, man, I say, you better get that ROI, bro. You better get that return on investment. Whatever you put into that woman, you better get something back. And if that's that last P that I was talking about earlier, man, you better get that back too, man. So can't just be always just, taking them out and everything like that. They better give something in return, if you know what I mean. So, I'm dealing with this woman, and again, I'm just ignoring red flag after red flag. But then she's showing me some green flags too. I'm not gonna say she was all bad, man. She wasn't like terrible or anything like that. But I mean, damn, she did modeling. I wasn't used to that. She was going out doing photo shoots, working with this guy, working with that guy, getting asked to go to the club and be a host, doing this, doing that. And I know what y'all are saying. She probably out there in the streets doing her thing. And again, what I tell you about the streets, man, thing about the streets is the only thing isn't in it is hood rats and sewer rats. So listen, I'm not calling her either, or I'm just saying that's what's in the streets. But this person was definitely more outgoing, I would say, just to keep it nice and, appeasing to my audience, because I don't know who's watching. But this woman just constantly, man, she got men in her life. First time we have a conversation about like, the different men and women in each of our lives and friends. And I don't do that, bro. Personally, I'm too good looking, bro. I can't be friends with no woman, bro, at all. I don't give a damn what anyone thinks about that, man. I personally don't think that can be the case. And that kind of that right there tells me all I need to know, man. Even though I did pull up with the red flags, didn't mean in the back of my mind I didn't know I was dealing with a concubine. I knew from Jump Street who I was dealing with, but I needed that ROI. So anyway, she's telling me first she has 2 best friends that are guys, and this, down the third, and then a couple months later we fast forward, and now it's this guy's a friend, this guy's a friend, that guy's a friend, this guy's a friend, this guy's hooking me up to do this event, this guy's hooking me up to do this guy's hooking me up to get a plane ticket to go X, Y, and Z. So the last conversation I remember us having, man, because it is vivid, but one of the last conversations is I brought up a situation, and I could just tell within her face that she was lying. I mean, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but as a man, we have that gut innate feeling, man. So, I could just tell, man, something was wrong. Like something felt off, and she was kind of just off the rest of the night. Went to the movies, came back. Then we had like a deep 3-4 hour talk. It was kind of like closure. I didn't know it at the time. Well, I didn't know it actually, because the next day, like when I woke up, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna be done with this girl in a couple, like if not the next day, it would be a couple of months. And something had happened, I'm not gonna get into too much of the details, but again, I'm saying all of this because again, you have to distinguish based off of certain series of events, conversations, and things that you have going on with that woman, who she is from Jump Street, and understand what role she's playing, man. Because again, a lot of you guys will put up with this shit thinking that eventually this woman's going to turn around. Once you start giving her bread, you start paying for this, you start doing that, bro, it will never stop, man. You're never going to make her happy, bro. You will never make her happy. And if she's not trying to do that for you, bro, what is the point? Like I said, the first wife, I didn't have to do much for. I did do stuff. I went out the way. I did do stuff, but I didn't have to. There was no demand. With this, concubine over here on the next side, I mean, this girl wanted me to do X, Y, and Z. But the thing was, she was never available. I'd only see her once a week. You know, she had a situation. I'm not going to get into the detail of that, but it was like I could never see her. I could never arrange to do things. I always said I want to do this, down the third, and not being authoritative enough. And I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. The last conversation, she ended up comparing me to some other guys. Which again, bro, once that happens, bro, that shit is done, man. I mean, I don't give a damn, bro. I'll put up with it. I got my ROI. And at that moment in time, I was just done. I said, listen, you can have a nice life, essentially. But I remember one of the last demands, one of the last demands that this woman had for me was, she basically said, why don't you, she was going out, she's supposed to go to brunch with her girls. These girls were they had their own situations that I guess were toxic. So this is their toxic group of friends. And she's with these girls, and all of a sudden brunch turned into the spa. And we were supposed to go to the spa together and do a spa day for her birthday. So, based off of the previous day and the conversation that we had, I was feeling a little jaded. I'm not going to lie, I was feeling a little jaded. And she had said, oh, why don't you pay for the spa day to make up for my birthday? Now, again, I'm not going into all the details of the previous night and what was said and all of that stuff. But again, I think you guys could understand, how things kind of flowed from that last night into this day, and kind of the energy that was between the both of us, right? And, that was the first time she had said something with a smiley face, like an emoji. And, the best form, I'll tell you this, guys, the best form of having a conversation with somebody is being silent. Kind of let that simmer. So a couple hours went by, let that just kind of simmer, do its thing. She got upset. She said this, that, and the third, and we ended up breaking it off. And I'm okay with it, honestly. I was okay with it at the time. But I say all of that because, again, what didn't this woman provide me versus the first woman? Peace of mind was not there. I'm not going to say I was always concerned with who she was with or what she was doing. But, man, when you have a girl who's doing, modeling shoots, and she's going here on vacation, she's doing this, and guys are hooking her up here and doing this and that. Of course, there is no man. I mean, you might be a male and a simp that can accept that shit. And you might be in my comments saying, oh, how could you not do that? Listen, nigga, that's all on you. At the end of the day, I'm telling you, bro, as a man, again, I didn't think much of her, but you're always gonna, I'm a man, bro. Like, you're gonna have feelings for the person that you're involved with. I'm not that type of person to go back or be with this person, that person, and that person, the next person. I don't have time for that shit, man. I have my business that I run. I have things that I need to do throughout the day, man. I don't have time to be talking to a bunch of women like I was in university. So, of course, I invest this stuff emotionally into this relationship. But in the same breath, again, I know how to kind of separate myself. So, I say that to say this, guys. Again, you must determine early who it is that you're dealing with. What is she? Is she a concubine? Or is she the wifey type? And if she's the wifey type, it doesn't mean that you get married to her. Again, sometimes love is in the form of sacrifice. And sacrifice means letting somebody go because you're not ready for what encounters with, marriage and things of that nature. And that's essentially what I had to do with the first one. Although she was tremendous, she was great, I knew I wasn't the man at that moment in time to provide what she was looking for. And I was only going to hold her back and derail her from potentially finding a man who is well suited for where she is at right now, man. So the second one, just cut ties, bro. Like, again, I wasn't cussing her out. I'm not going berating her. I'm not, trying to do none of that. At the end of the day, you just leave it kosher. You say your piece in the most upright way as a man as you can. You let that person go. And if they come back and they trespass, you'll let the ass know. Listen, it's not a place to be trespassing, even if you're sorry or not. It doesn't really matter to me. But again, determine early who you're dealing with, determine early, you know, what they're using you for and what you're going to be using them for. You know, sometimes you want a 9 and a 10 just so you can show around and parade her around and everything, and it kind of makes you feel good. But don't forget, man, just the average woman is probably the one you're going to marry, probably the one you're going to be with all due respect to those beautiful women out there who are 9s and 10s. Again, just sometimes your character doesn't match your looks, unfortunately, and I'm not saying that's all of you, but again, for the most part, what I've dealt with 9s, I've dealt with 5s, you know, and not 5s in a disgusting manner, man. Please don't make me pull up my profile or resume. Don't make me do it. For you guys who are gonna be in my comments talking about you dealing with 5s, man. Okay, that's all I want you guys to know in this video, man. It's just how to determine the woman that you're dealing with and understand how to separate yourself from the relationship too, man. Understand, you know, what's in the best interest of the other person, man. Can't always be about you. I mean, to a degree, it can be, because again, it is what it is. You can be, but can't always be like that. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that, man. I hope you guys learn what you need to learn, man. Subscribe, comment, like the video, push this out, man. Share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video, man.